I'm sure that by now you've all heard about the tragedy that has occurred in California, those raging fires that have destroyed people's livelihood and their homes. And this channel, by the way, is not meant to be political in any way, shape, or form. But, in all the interviews and all that is going on, I can't help but look at the leadership or the lack of leadership that is occurring. And so I know that this can be politicized. I know that people want to be on one side or the other. This is not about that. This is strictly looking at this crisis, at this tragedy through the lens of leadership and what could have been done better and what can we learn moving forward as leaders. I'm calling this crisis leadership because I really believe that effective and true leadership is revealed when the pressure is on or when we have calamity such as we have in this scenario. And so even though I want to draw from the story itself, please understand I'm not trying to attack anybody. I'm not trying to be on any political side. I'm just looking at it from a leadership perspective. So first and foremost, let's look at the fact that certain leaders weren't even present. They weren't even in the country. They weren't even in the state when the fires broke out and when there was dire warnings of what was going to occur. And so, my friends, leadership lesson number one is in times of crisis, in particular in crisis management and crisis leadership, you need to be present. Leaders need to be present. They need to be visible. Everyone needs to know that they can be connected to. And that brings me to my second point, that we give clear and concise answers. We need to be able to communicate. Leaders must be able to communicate effectively when there is crisis, when there's a problem, when there's adversity. In this particular case, literally people's lives are going up in flames. And I saw interviews where, quote unquote, and I don't want to name them because then it's going to become political, but they look like they're a deer in the headlight. They look like they're stunned. They don't know what is going on. They don't have a grasp of the situation. And now they're in front of cameras. Reporters are asking them questions, and they have absolutely no idea what to say, how to say it, and what to communicate. That is a failure of leadership. It causes a lot of fear and insecurity, and it causes a lot of instability. The third thing that I would say, and here I'm probably going to criticize this whole concept of DEI, that my friends, as leaders, we need to put competent people, no matter their skin, their race, their religion, whatever. As long as you are competent, as long as you have capacity, can you do the job? Can you do the job, particularly when there is pressure, particularly when there is crisis? We see here that, wow, they were great poster people. And it's wonderful to say, well, we hired all these, different equality and adversity and all the rest of it, diversity and all the rest of it. But the reality is that when the rubber met the road, these people were not capable. They didn't have the skills that were required. Probably not their fault, by the way. Somebody put them there for all the wrong reasons. My fourth point is we need to have strength. We need to be able to communicate strength. We need to be able to communicate confidence to people. We need to be strong and indicate that we know what we're doing. We're capable. You can follow us. We're going to give you information that is going to help you rather than cause more confusion and cause more anger and frustration within people. My friends, in crisis management, you don't want to be adding to the problem. You need to be removing the problems. Brings me to my fifth point, resources. Where are the resources? Where is the information? Where is the direction that needs to be provided to people? What are you giving them in order to help them to see beyond the crisis itself? It was absolutely phenomenal to me to hear the confusion in the leadership, to hear the utter almost failure within their voices, within their body language, within their inability to answer simple questions, to provide simple information that would certainly help the situation. Yes, my friends, I'm telling you that in crisis management, things happen that you need to be quick, you need to be agile, you need to be prepared. You most likely need a crisis management plan, which, considering that fires strike California all the time, you would think these plans were in place, and now we're going to follow them. By the way, maybe help prevent them. That's a whole other story. But I have just noticed one failure after another, and then all this trying to backtalk and explain and try to maneuver my way out of it, to cast blame here and cast blame there. That's not leadership. True leadership takes accountability. True leadership presents not only the facts, but it presents the truth, and then it presents solutions. I think this ought to be a case study, honestly, on how we manage during crisis. I hope you have a crisis management plan. I hope that you have experience in it so that you will know how to navigate your organization, your ministry, your family, whatever it may be, whatever that sphere of influence may be, that when crisis hits, people know they can rely on you because you are an excellent leader.